Good evening, everyone. This is April 22nd, 2024, a select board meeting. First thing business was the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up is the acceptance and correction of minutes from 2024, the 8th. Yeah, look, I'm tongue-tied. Public and non-public.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes for the 4/8/24 public and non-public minutes with corrections if need be.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Kelly. Any discussion?
Roll call.
I will. I've got to ask the discussion first. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call. Collis?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Motion passes. We have a few announcements for tonight. This is a reminder to dog owners. State law RSA 466:1 requires every owner of a dog 4 months or older shall annually on or before April 30th license said dog for 1 year in the town in which the owner resides. We register dogs because keeping your dog's vaccination against rabies valid ensures public health, safety, and in the event of dog bite. We are often able to assist getting a lost dog home when the dog wears a Goffstown numbered dog tag. You may register your dog's license in person during normal town clerk business hours Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. You can also register your dog's license by mail or online at www.goffstownnh.gov. Next up, Goffstown Library will be hosting an event with Monadnock Falconry at Barnard Park at 11 a.m. on Saturday, April 27th. The program will answer questions about birds of prey and include outdoor flying display, offering the chance for participants to call a hawk to their gloves. Please note this program will take place outdoors at Barnard Park and no registration is required. In conjunction, please note that the library will be closed on Saturday, April 27th due to the lack of staffing and planned Monadnock Falconry events. The Goffstown Police Department and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office are participating in DEA National Take Back Day with a collection of site located across the street at 329 Mass Road in Goffstown in the former women's prison lot. This event will be held on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Look for the Goffstown Police Mobile Command Center. This is a free and anonymous, but there are a few guidelines. No liquids, inhaler, ointments, thermometers, needles, or aerosols. If you're not in Goffstown, check for the local collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com. We have a couple of proclamations today. First up, whereas April 21st to the 27th is National Volunteer Week, which provides in the community an opportunity for celebrate the efforts of volunteers across the country, recognizing the power of volunteerism in addressing local needs, prompting civic involvement and fostering a sense of belonging and connection with our diverse communities. And whereas Goffstown community volunteers make a significant contribution to our town government, departments, schools, churches, youth sports teams, and many other benevolent and service organizations. And whereas the quality of the town's civic activities, recreational opportunities, community of life, and with generations donations of time and talent, the commitment made by such volunteers and their leaders are. Whereas day in and day out, it is clear to see that all these volunteer efforts make Goffstown a caring and vibrant community. And whereas the town of Goffstown recognizes the value of the services they render, now therefore to be resolved that we, the Select Board of the Town of Goffstown, County of Hillsborough, State of New Hampshire, by virtue invested in us, do hereby proclaim the week of April 21st through the 27th as Volunteer Appreciation Week throughout the town of Goffstown, New Hampshire, and we urge all citizenry of the town to recognize that week as such. And this is signed by the Board of Selectmen. I got it. I just needed a drink.
Hey, Peter,
Yeah, that'd be me.
I'd like to make a quick announcement if I can, if it's appropriate.
Okay, I have one more proclamation to read, but if you want to go ahead now, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead, Peter. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Another proclamation, whereas the Goffstown Community Garden Club is sponsoring a campaign to keep Goffstown beautiful during the week of April 21st to the 27th, and whereas the Goffstown Community Garden Club has encouraged businesses, organizations, homeowners, pick up, clean up, spruce up streets, lawns, parks, corners, roadways, etc., as well as around private homes throughout the community. And now, therefore, we, the Select Board, Town of Goffstown, County of Hillsborough, State of New Hampshire, by virtue of authority vested in us, do hereby proclaim that August 18th through April 24th, 24 be designated as Keep Goffstown Beautiful Week throughout the town of Goffstown, New Hampshire, and urge all of the citizenry of the town of Goffstown to participate in the efforts to pick up, clean up, spruce up all the areas and community throughout the period. We also urge all townspeople to recycle their newspapers, magazines, mixed paper, plastic, aluminum, steel, tin cans, bottles, and corrugated cardboard by utilizing Goffstown's curbside recycling program or visiting the Goffstown Transfer Station located at 40 Elm Street. And this is given under our hands and seals, 22nd day of April, the year of our Lord, 2024, and again signed by all the members of the Select Board. Collis, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Pete. In that same vein, I just wanted to make people aware who may not be aware that today is Earth Day, and I would encourage all folks in Goffstown to get out and do something good for our planet. It's the only one we've got. Let's hand it off to the next generation in at least as good a condition as we found it. Thank you, Pete.
You're welcome. Thank you, Collis. Anybody else? Any questions? Seeing none, we have first appointment.
Yeah,
Sorry, we have
public
public comment. Is there anybody here for public comment? Seeing none, we have a scheduled meeting. It's with Andrew Carteret, proposing create advisory committee for the Select Board for Piscataqua River Waterways Committee.
Hello.
Name and address, sir.
Yes, thank you. Andrew Carteret, 22 West Union in Goffstown. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to come before you and talk about the draft charter that we have put together. I want to give a little overview of how we got here, just to quickly kind of bring people up to speed. So following DES's announcement that they were looking to take down the Hadley Falls Dam and the other issues with the dam, a group of citizens got together and we tried to put together some plan or make sense of what was being communicated. D.S. Stolnitz, Dick Bruno, Rodney Stark, Jim Craig, Ann Craig, Collis Adams, Tina Lawton from Main Street was involved in the committee. We also had Representative Lisa Mazer, Representative Fred Platt, Representative Sheila Seidel, Representative Judy Lanza, and even Senator Keith Murphy participated in our kind of collective research to understand the situation, look at what we could do, and what options were available for the citizens of Goffstown. We did, as a group, we did public surveys through Main Street about the impact of the dam. We did outreach. We met with stakeholders. We certainly met with DES about it. We met with some of the historical commissions and some people from the state up in with regards to the dam. We also came before you, and I just want to kind of go back to that. I think it was October 23rd is when we met with you once before, and we brought forward some of those outcomes that we had researched and came up with some ideas. One of them was to, actively work with DES, and this is with regards, while we started with regards to the Hadley Falls Dam, I want to recognize that it's not just about the Hadley Falls Dam, it's about every dam. It's about the Piscataquag waterways, and that's why the charter is much broader than just the Hadley Falls Dam. But one of the outcomes from the October 23rd was to work with DES to provide, updated communications to the public. The second one was to come up with some type of an ad hoc group to work with DES and work on behalf of the Select Board to communicate, to be the eyes, ears, and voice of the Select Board with regards to what would potentially be happening with the dam. And then lastly, it was with regards to some funding. So what I have before you is a charter that kind of came out of that. I had met with, and I don't know if everybody has a copy of the charter.
They do, it's in their packet.
Okay. What came out of that was we put together a charter that we're looking to have the Select Board adopt that is not just specific to Hadley Falls, but it's the whole river, the whole corridor. I did share this with Derek beforehand, and he had some questions, and I would like to address them. First, with regards to the charter, and I'm on page 1 of the charter, the mission and the objectives is to be the voice, the eyes, the ears of the Select Board with regards to, these dam issues, but there are other things that I have consistently seen come up. For example, we had an ad hoc committee looking at the waterfront properties. We have an ad hoc committee looking at the bridge, pedestrian bridge. And this could be a vehicle for all those things now and in the future. And Derek's question was with regards to when we go in here and talk about to advise the Select Board on, and then we go into say things like, but not limited to water control structures, dams, levees. Derek's feedback was those aren't owned by the town, but I think what this is to advise the town on any town-owned property, and certainly if they remove the dam, what's left behind on the shores, the town owns that, and this is where you would be advising that. So as improvements are made for any dam impact, this committee could speak to that. The authority, again, looking to be like the eyes, the ears, and the worker bees, so that the Select Board doesn't have to get bogged down by research, data, meetings, public comments. This committee could do that. Section 2 on page 1 has duties and responsibilities, and it just, engage with stakeholders, conduct research and analysis. In our research, there were a couple other communities that went through this, and there is some comprehensive research that comes out of this, like where's the river going to be? And so somebody needs to understand where the river is going to be. What are the impacts going to be to bridges that exist, to property holders? And this committee could provide that expertise. Develop recommendations. Those would be recommendations to the community, to the Select Board, or even just a place for people to ask questions. And we have for deliverables once every 12 months. The idea is that this would be a long-term committee, not a short-term committee. Under operational goals on page 2, I think that having Select Board leadership is important, and you'll see the Select Board is closely tied to this committee, not just someone who is a member of it, but it really needs to be someone who's a leader of it and beholden to report back to the Select Board so that there's some type of accountability and action as things go forward, specifically with the dams. Number C on page 2, under number 4, operational constraints, all significant committee actions shall be subject to the Select Board. So this really is, the idea is that this is an extension of the Select Board, doing the work, coming back to the Select Board makes decisions, then things move forward. And then the last thing on page 3, I just want to throw out, in our committee, we had discussions on the membership and who should be on the members, as did Derek. And we understand that, time availability of people to be on committees is really tight. If there's a way to increase it from 9, we originally had this at 11, but I don't know if there's like a perfect ratio for a membership. We feel that the more community members involved, the better, because specifically, I'm talking about the dam specific, that's going to be a hot issue, and I think the more people that have input and expertise, the better. As far as staff from the town, that's where Derek had some questions about, can we really, these people are on other committees and they may or may not have time. But I think it's important that we have economic development, Conservation Commission, Park and Recs, the Department of Public Works, because if anything happens specific to, say, a dam removal, someone with expertise in what the town can or can't do really needs to be involved in that. And if I could just go through my notes again to see what I missed, which I'm sure I did miss something. I do want to thank everyone that's been on the committee. There's a number of people back here, so thank you. Again, we're a group of stakeholders in the committee, not a town organization. And I think, it's basically we want to communicate, inform, provide a single resource. We really want to help you. And see, this committee would be a partnership in that, it would be a circle of communication from the committee to the public to you and back. So I don't know what the next steps are. I do want to ask if anybody else wants to say anything.
I'm just going to back
Can you
in.
just say your name?
I'm sorry, my
From?
name is Dick Bruno.
Dick, do you mind coming up
Oh,
to the
yeah.
microphone, please?
Hi, I'm Dick Bruno, 17 High Street in Goffstown, and I've been with Andy working on this citizens group. When I heard about what Andy was trying to pull together, I was very interested in it because I really think that I started because it was the Hadley Falls Dam, and that seemed to be a focal point. But when I realized what else could be involved and the extended issues that come from all of this, I really think there should be some sort of committee that has the ability to dig deep, as Andy says, deep into the issues, and to be able to communicate with the state or other agencies that are going to be involved in this. And I think obviously you folks have a lot on your plate. I think this one is a big issue, and it can carry for, we have a river that goes through our town. And I think it's going to be there in one way or the other, and we have dams that we're concerned about. So I, number one, commend Andy for bringing people together, putting this charter together. He's done a lot of work, so haven't the other people, but I'm behind it 100%, and that's why I've given my time to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
So do you have any
anybody
questions?
got anything you want to say? Ask questions? I think it's forming a committee to look at the Pacific area of downtown and the village and that particular Hadley Falls Dam, which impacts a lot of you people that are involved in this committee. I think that's a great idea. But when I read through this and it started to encompass the whole town with all the tributaries, I have to caution on that. I think we have people that are already doing that, and I don't think that forming another layer to look at it is appropriate. Now, if you wanted to say, we're going to concentrate on the dam area, fine. But when you started to include all the tributaries that go into the river, which is the whole town pretty much, any catch basins, any of that stuff that goes into the river, I think I don't think that's something that I would be interested in having another layer in.
Yeah.
Working with the dam, researching that, I understand that. And like, I think we said that before. The next thing is, you want to...
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
So you need to define what is the boundary of the committee, And so that was, this is for you guys to do the next steps with. So if you don't like that, you take it out. But what is the boundary? Quarter mile is a consistent boundary that's used at DES. It's like, I don't know what quarter mile is in feet, but you need something, so it could be 100 feet from the shore. It could be 2 miles from the shore. And I will say also, the comment that, the Hadley Falls and we're vested in it. Everybody's vested in Hadley Falls and Goffstown. Everybody in this community. It's not just these stakeholders that are showing up here tonight. It's everybody. It's you. It's you. It's you. And so I don't think that that's a good way at looking at this, that it's only the people who live in this area. Everybody's invested in this.
I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
My feeling is the original purpose of the group was Hadley Falls. And now it's expanded because we know we have a problem. Glen Falls seems to be okay. We know we have a problem at Kelly's
I
Falls,
think we do.
Unfortunately, that's in Manchester, and I don't know how much we, the Board of Selectmen or the Select Board, can control what's going on there, except that we need to include anything we do with the people that live on the Maskey.
This
but
committee
like I
could be
said-
that liaison with the city of Manchester so that the select board doesn't have to be.
Well, I think, I don't know if I want somebody else speaking for the select board with the city of Manchester without the select board telling that person what to say. Or limiting that person to what they can say. Maybe it's bringing back information to us, something like that, I get that, but to represent the select board, I don't know if I want somebody just going to a meeting and say, I'm here representing the select board. That's just, I'll stop it right there. Like I said, the next thing is, and I agree with you, if you want to do, you know, a couple 100 yards off the river or something like that, I can understand that. But when you said all of its tributaries, that covers the whole town. And
Well, that's like a quarter mile on any tributary.
that's not
So
what
like,
your proposal says. Your proposal says
let's go to
all
where it says.
tributaries going into the river,
Yeah, a quarter of a mile of Scotticock River or its tributaries.
or its
Okay,
tributaries.
so you would just say, I don't know how you would change that to be clearer, but the idea is that a quarter of a mile, and so you have, for example, let me think of a spot where, I don't know, there may be a brook coming in at some.
Let's say Harry Brook up on Page Hill
Yeah,
Road.
yeah. So that's where it intersects, I don't know, if something was happening there, this committee could potentially help the select board. But you just, again, this is a draft for you, so you guys need to take the next steps, right?
So I think what we need to do, as a board, and when Collis is available, we need to have like a work meeting on something like this.
What is the procedure to adopt this?
So you would adopt the charter, and then normally once you have a charter adopted, you put out an advertisement for volunteers to serve as it's defined, I think on page 3 on what the committee members.
So all it takes is a vote from us to adopt this, or
Yes.
something like this?
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm all for this, but, you raised, I don't know how legitimate, but it sounds legitimate, so, if you
I
want.
think we need to have a work session on it and see,
Yeah, and I think the authority, their authority is to make recommendations to the select board. I
Right.
think it's pretty well tied into, we
This
get
is
the
fine,
last
yeah,
say, and I agree, they can't go running around telling me.
I think we need to make that clear. And I don't think there's any reason why we wouldn't do this. We just need to clear up some of the language. And we'll come back to you with it. How's that?
Sounds good.
right.
I would say that if you have a working group, you have people who have done the homework, done the research, are involved, and we'd be
But
happy to
this
be
has to
part
be,
of it.
this is a selectman's job to work on this now. Okay, it's not a committee's job. It's
Okay.
this
I'm just-
board that has to do it.
I'm offering that. If you need any input from people who've been doing this.
You may invite somebody in, that's a possibility. We get that, so Derek and I will set up something with everybody else, and everybody else is available. Is that okay? Is that okay with you guys?
Can we do it within the next couple of weeks for the next meeting?
I don't know if we can do it that fast. I'm gonna be out of town this week. I don't know what everybody else's schedule is. I don't know if we'll be ready. I would say it's not this next meeting, but the week after. How's that? That gives us a month.
Okay, okay. Well, that's the way it's gonna be,
I mean,
no, I just.
nothing's
wanna-
gonna happen in the meantime. They're not tearing the dam down in the meantime. So I don't see any reason why.
We hope not.
Yeah. All right, so we hope to have something back to you in the next couple of meetings. How's that? Collins,
Can I chime in, please?
go right
Can
ahead.
I chime in?
Yeah,
Yeah, first of all, regrets that I can't be there, to the members who are there. I really feel badly about that, but I've tried every elixir I could find down at Rite Aid, and nothing would put down these coughing fits. So I apologize that I can't be there. I wanted nothing more to be there with you to discuss this. And Peter, we did struggle with the boundaries, the geographic boundaries of what this should be, and went everywhere from 250 feet, which is kind of the limit of the Water
Shoreline.
Protection Act, to 100 feet, which is Water Quality Protection Act. So we were struggling with that, and any guidance that the select board could provide on kind of more clearly defining the boundaries of the charter would certainly be welcome, at least in my opinion.
that's my intent on making sure we have a meeting when you're here, Collis. Seeing you
Yeah,
participated in
and I
that.
would, and I think that's a good suggestion, Pete. I think a meeting to sort of tease this out a little bit more, and I appreciate that.
Okay,
If-
Thank you.
If there's a way to communicate the date of that meeting to me, that would be great, because I would love to attend, you know,
absolutely.
the audience. So, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you all for coming. Derek, on to you.
Yes, at tab 7, you have your committee meeting assignments for the next 2 weeks. On Wednesday at 6:30 PM, the Historic District and Heritage Commission will meet at Grassmere Town Hall.
Yep.
On Thursday at 7 PM, the Planning Board will be in this room in Town Hall.
Yep, I'm good to be there.
Thank you. And next week on Wednesday at 6:30 PM, the Library Trustees will be meeting.
Won't be doing that.
At your next page, you have your consent agenda. You have an accountant, assistant finance director, promotion to finance director/treasurer. You also have the assistant town administrator, finance director/treasurer. This is transfer of position to the assistant town administrator, HR director, deputy treasurer. You have the GTV education technician, promotion to GTV coordinator. You have full-time firefighter, new hire. You have 2 per diem EMTs, new hires. You have a full-time DPW truck driver discharge. And you have a DPW shop supervisor, successful completion of probationary period. You have an event permit for the Pan Mass Kids Ride fundraiser to crush cancer on June 2nd. This is out of St. Anselm College. You have proclamations. You have Keep Goffstown Beautiful Week. That was already read this evening. You have the Public Service Recognition Week coming up in a couple weeks. And then you also added the National Volunteer Week. That was also read this evening. And then you have the collective bargaining agreement that was approved at town meeting for the police dispatchers and clerks.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So,
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Mark. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, roll call. Collis?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
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 Motion passes.
At your next page, you have recommendations from the assessor. You have 2 elderly exemptions. Both the assessor is recommending removal for the 2024 tax year. You have 6 veterans tax credits that the assessor recommends approval. You have tax credit for service-connected total disability. The assessor recommends approval on 3 lots. You have one all veterans tax credit that the assessor recommends approval. 1 solar energy systems exemption that the assessor recommends approval. You have 14 elderly exemptions that the assessor recommends approval. And 1 intent to excavate that the assessor recommends approval. And for anyone watching, the list is available on the town website in the public packet.
Motion to approve the assessor's recommendation as presented.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jim. Any discussion? Any questions? We'll call for the vote. Collis?
Yes.
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 Motion passes.
At your next page, you have volunteer appointments. You have from 2 different boards. The trustees of the trust fund met on April 9th and recommended that the select board reappoint Scott Gross and Brian Lombardi as alternate members with terms expiring March 31st, 2025.
Take a motion on that.
Motion to reappoint Brian Lombardi and Scott Gross as alternate members to the trustees of the trust fund with terms expiring March 31st, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jim. Any discussion? Questions? Seeing none. Collis?
Yes.
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 Motion passes.
And then the library board of trustees met on April 17th and recommended the select board appoint 3 alternate members, Teresa Curtis, Jordan Willow Evans, and Casey Leach, each with terms expiring March 31st, 2025.
I move to appoint Teresa Curtis, Jordan Willow Evans, and Casey Leach as alternative members to the Goffstown Public Library Board of Trustees with terms expiring March 31st, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Jim, seconded by Mark. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. Collis?
Yes.
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 Motion passes.
And to your next page, you have surplus equipment auction results from the DPW director. There were 6 vehicles and equipment that are ready to be disposed of. This was done through Municipid, and it closed on April 16th. The total is, amount in revenue due would be $53,300 that would go to the general fund. And the DPW director is recommending awarding the vehicles and equipment to the highest bidders and authorizing the chair or vice chair to sign the necessary title paperwork.
I'll second that motion, or
Nobody made a motion yet.
I'll go with that motion. Recommend awarding the vehicles to the highest bidder and authorizing the chair, vice chair to sign over the title paperwork.
Second. Oh, good.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Kelly. Any questions? Seeing none, Collis?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
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 Motion passes.
And the final item in the town administrator's report, you have a revised job description from the fire chief. This is for the full-time fire lieutenant job description. And you have a red line in your packet, and the fire chief is asking for approval on these changes this evening. These are clarifications of existing requirements that are in place, and the changes align and reflect the fire lieutenant's duties and responsibilities.
Motion to approve the Goffstown Fire Department Fire Lieutenant job description dated April 22nd, 2024, and as submitted by the fire chief.
Second.
Questions? I have one. Is this the same pay grade, or is this a different pay grade than what currently is?
There is no change to the pay grade. It's
Just description.
just the description, yes.
We had a motion by Mark, it was seconded by Kelly. Call for the vote. Collis?
Yes.
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 Motion passes. We'll move on to old business. Before we do that, is there any new business, anything we brought before the board? Seeing none, let's go to old business. First up is we're still working on that police station. Next month, first meeting, ad hoc committee on the village pedestrian bridge will be presenting. Is that correct, Collis?
Yeah, we're on schedule.
Okay. Grants, we're still waiting for that, right?
Correct, the fire department's still finishing, when they submit that, I will update that.
And ambulance too, but we have 2 ambulances out of service, don't we?
Yeah, so this went to print before we found out about the other, one of the other ambulances is having engine issues. It's warranty work, but it is gonna be out of commission for a little while. The fire department has worked with the town of New Boston to borrow one of their ambulances, and they've been working with Primex, our insurance provider, to get the proper coverage and everything in place so that we can still operate 2 ambulances.
Okay, did we want to take up any discussion on DES letters? Anybody have any questions on that? I'm waiting. I'm really interested in getting some answers. Hopefully when Corey gets back, we'll get him. He's on vacation, right?
Yes, yep, he offered to meet with me to speak with him about the changes that have gone on at Kelly Falls as I corresponded with the board. The Federal Energy Regulation Commission, FERC, did accept the application to surrender the hydroelectric license at the Kelly Falls dams, and the next step is for DES to come up with a plan to move Green Mountain Power out of that location.
You got 90 days if I read that right.
Yes, they have 90 days, and then DES would take over the ownership and the maintenance and everything of that dam at that location. Corey Clark from the state of New Hampshire did offer to sit down with me. He wanted to meet with Green Power first, so hopefully I will have an update for you at the May meeting. It may not be the May 6th meeting though, because he is out this week and then
Right.
needs meeting with. But by the May 20th meeting, I hope to have more information on what their plan there is.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, is there any, does he have any idea what, when they're gonna rule or act on their second?
The
bond?
big grant?
Yeah. big-
Yeah, the NOAA grant. No, originally, when they were putting the grant application in last October, they were thinking it was gonna be February or March that they would, hopefully receive information on that, but they have not,
They have no
awarded
idea.
those grants. So, when I do talk to Corey, I will ask him, if they have any updated, timeline for that grant application, cause that was the more significant of the two
It's
applications.
like 40 million bucks or something like
Yes,
that.
yeah, that was to build a fish ladder at Kelly Falls.
And
do-
demolition of Hadley.
Yes, yes,
So
that was it.
we'd be in a world of hurt if we don't get that, right?
Yeah, what, we would have to work with the state and see what their plans are for Kelly Falls at that point.
Okay, thanks.
Well, if you read through it, it doesn't look promising as far as being able to keep the water level up. If you know how that works down there.
So it's very difficult, because right now Green Mountain Power, as the leasee that is doing hydroelectric there, they put in the flashboards, they maintain the flashboards. At the point where the state takes over, I know that they had been working with the Maskey Lake Association to see about having a third party come in and maintain those flashboards, but that is definitely something that's gonna be an issue down there.
Is that a time-consuming and expensive deal to do that? The flashboards and things?
I don't know that it's time consuming when you have somebody that's there on site but when the state is managing 270 plus dams and if they get notice that it comes out, I don't know if they do it or they hire companies when they do that, so.
There's a lot more to it than just putting the flashboards up, because they used to maintain the water level when they opened up the water through the turbine. They were able to control the flow, keep the water at a certain level.
Yeah, when you take hydro out of there,
Take the hydro
there
out
are
of it, there's
there are
nothing-
certain requirements on what the flowage rates need to be.
And then it'll go over the dam, and if it goes over the dam, it knocks the boards down, so. It's not just a simple thing of putting some boards up.
Oh, that's what I want.
Somebody still has to judge the flow of the river. I don't know if you know, that's just an easy little thing that, we're just gonna put some boards up and that's it, it's not how it works, so. Anything else?
No, not on that, and then we'll put the recent correspondence that we got in the middle of last week, we'll put that up on the website.
Okay. Anybody else here anybody here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close the public session of the April 22nd Select Board meeting. We appreciate those that came to watch and participate. Thank you. Motion?
Motion to go into non-public session, RSA 91A:3, 2, Roman numeral 2.
Good.
Compensation and B hiring. Anything else, or is that?
Yes, can we add C, matters that would adversely affect reputation of other persons in the public body? And E, consideration of litigation.
You got it.
So a motion by Mark, seconded by Jim?
Yep.
Seconded by Jim. All in favor? Collis?
Yes.
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 Yes, everybody?
Yep.
Yeah, Peter, let me point out, I'm in my office by myself, there's no one else